People didn't refer to us as Sebastian and his mother, or Mrs. Venable and her son. They said Sebastian and Violet. Violet and Sebastian are staying at the Lido. They're at the Ritz in Madrid. Sebastian and Violet. Violet and Sebastian have taken a house in Biarritz for the season.
The play is such an interesting idea. I liken it to, we keep thinking that it's of the Depression. It's written about 1936, and yet I feel it's so current.
It's really about people that have got it in their head that they need something so much, and they need something so bad in order to make the rest of their lives work.
There's nothing that transports an actor, I think, like Williams' language. He just strikes chords that resonate so strongly into a human condition that is fraught with sadness and conflict and grief, and he just taps sources and hits chords that very few playwrights do.
You know what I think you're doing? I think you're trying to hypnotize me, aren't you? You're looking so straight at me and doing something to me with your eyes and your eyes. Is that what you're doing to me?
Is that what you feel I'm doing?
Yes. I feel so peculiar. And it's not just the drug.
It's also remarkably deep. You just keep digging and digging, and the things that you find are always unusual. It's edgy and humorous in ways that are dark and you don't expect.
Every word is so specifically chosen, and if you read his memoirs or if you read any of his letters, he mulled over every single word, like had to find the perfect word to use and wouldn't settle for anything less.
It's a poem. It really is a poem. And one of the things that Mark Brokaw said from the very start, which I think was really important, is that we make these characters very real and grounded in reality. So even though it is an hour and a half of real time, of a heightened moment in all of their lives, a moment of crisis, that it comes from a real place. So you don't have this sort of, his words drifting off and people kind of losing focus, which can happen with poetry too.
The money is all tied up. If Aunt Vi decided to contest Sebastian's will that leaves us all of his cash, am I coming through to you?
Yes, little brother, you are.
You see, Mama? She's crazy. Like a coyote. We won't get a single damn penny. Honest to God, we won't.
Well, I think it's a great yarn, it's a great suspense yarn. And also I just think the play is an example of some of his, it may not be one of his greatest plays, but I think it contains some of his greatest writing. And I think it has some great arias in it and some really magnificent set pieces. And so it's really wonderful to explore for that reason.
I think that the thing that separates this production from other productions is that the director, Mark is such a fabulous director. He really wanted so much to illuminate the human, the human dilemma.
And Mark Brokaw is such an amazing director, and it's just been a really sans soleil. I mean, the whole cast. We really have gotten. I couldn't wish for anything different.
I want you to please be very careful what you say to your Aunt Violet about what happened to Sebastian in Cabeza de Lobo. What do you want me to say about what? Just don't say that same fantastic story for my sake and George's sake, the sake of your brother and mother. Don't repeat that horrible story again, not to Violet, will you?
Well, then I'm going to have to tell Aunt Violet what happened to her son in Cabeza de Lobo.
Well, honey, that's why you're here.
It's beyond wonderful. It's fascinating in kind of a, meta fascinating way to, work with a compelling and incredible actor such as Blythe or Carla.
It's just a terrific cast in every way. We play Scrabble backstage nonstop. We're going for a championship of the world. We're literally tracking the wins. And it's a great cast. It really is. Mark is a wonderful director that way.
I think it's one of those plays that is very demanding in terms of you have to really listen, because a lot of the action is very verbal action. There isn't a lot of physical action up there. And I think that I've been really excited by how attentive audiences have been and how much they really have stuck with the play and really sit and are very quiet and riveted.